my vision completely went blurry, and it wouldn't come back. Thank you to everyone that reached out to me after seeing my last video to check to make sure that I was okay. A lot of people had questions, so I thought I'd make this video now that I've had a little time to figure out what exactly happened that got me into the emergency room. I've already had quite a few medical issues over the past year with my breathing and some swelling in my chest. So my breathing has not been great already. So on this last trip, I really couldn't breathe. I was coming down through New Mexico, and there's these incredibly small cities, which I've now looked up, and their population was like 200. I felt like I was in a horror movie in a small town, and the city had like some kind of secret and they were out to kill me or something. Being around those small towns, it made me think, holy shit, what if something does happen to me out here? What if I do get sick and I need to pull over? Am I gonna be able to find someone to help me out here? It was a 2-lane highway, like not a lot of cars were passing me. And the ones that were, I had no idea if they would stop or if it was a conservative area, if they would even bother to take care of me. So that kind of freaked me out, and that kind of set off my anxiety. With the anxiety, you have this really shallow breathing. It's so hard to get a full breath and your heart is pounding. So that, of course, mixed with already not being able to breathe, was just a really terrible combination. Usually when I think I have something physically wrong with me, I kind of write it off. Because I've dealt with anxiety all my life, it's hard to decipher what is in my head and what is actually physically happening to me. So anything that does physically happen to me, I just think it's anxiety, and I just think, oh, I need to calm myself down. As I was driving, I was calming myself down and doing everything that I needed to do to bring that anxiety level down. Once that anxiety went down and I didn't feel the anxiousness anymore, I still had the blurry vision. I still felt like I couldn't get a full breath, and I still felt incredibly dizzy. That led me to believe that something more than my mental health was getting in the way. Just thinking about it, it's like, man, it was really bad. To say it was scary is such an understatement. I don't think the videos even do it justice. So in Las Vegas, New Mexico, yes, Las Vegas, New Mexico, I ended up in the emergency room. And let me tell you, that is not the Las Vegas I thought I would end up in the emergency room in. Like dehydration and oxygen levels, everything there was kind of not great. But maybe it would have seemed fine if I was in that area for a week or two and I could rest and get acclimated to the elevation and the weather there. But because my road trips are 1 to 2 days in each city and I'm just constantly moving, I didn't have an opportunity to rest. So everything was amplified. Everything just I couldn't recover, basically. I did stay in New Mexico overnight. Once I got to the hotel room, I felt like the biggest failure. I'm so good at being in control and taking care of myself on the road and making smart decisions because you have to. And then I feel like I f***ed up. I felt like I failed because my anxiety wasn't completely under control. I feel like I failed because I didn't eat or drink enough and I got dehydrated. I felt like a failure because I didn't realize that the 3 states that I was gonna be in are such high elevation. Even just talking about it now, I almost don't want to post this video because I feel like I failed. I think I need a minute. When I woke up the next day after I stayed in New Mexico, I had about 8 hours left until I got home. My vision was still just shot. It was so bad, I probably shouldn't have been driving, but I didn't have a choice. Finally got back to Arizona where I'm currently staying, and things didn't really get better, to be honest. I just kind of sat there in fear of existing. Like I was scared of I don't know. I was just scared. I was shaking. I couldn't stop shaking. I hadn't stopped shaking for days. For about 3 days after I got home, my vision was still really bad. I was kind of bumping into walls as I walked down the hallway. Everything was just kind of swaying and fuzzy at the same time. But walking felt weird. Like my legs felt like jello, and like it was just wobbly, and I couldn't stabilize mentally or physically. Then I finally started feeling better. My vision slowly came back to normal, and I was able to do things. My balance was better. I was stabilizing, and overall I felt a lot better. That brought me to the most important question. Do I get back on the road? If I never want to feel the way I did on that day that I went to the emergency room, then I don't know if getting back on the road is the right choice. And that breaks my heart more than I'm willing to express. I don't know if when I'm back on that rural road and I'm by myself, if I'm going to have another, physical or mental meltdown. I'm scared. And I know it's really uncool to admit something like that, but it's the truth. Recently I got interviewed by ShoutOut LA, which is obviously a Los Angeles-based publication. They were interviewing me about my current projects and what I'm doing, my road trips, my traveling. And one of the questions they asked me was, when do you know when to give up or to keep going on a project? It's like I wanted to give a very hopeful answer, but I felt like that wasn't very truthful. I wanted to say, oh, you should never give up. That's what everybody says, right? But giving up is a smart choice. Giving up would be good for your stress levels. Giving up would be good for your mental and physical health. But then I also said, dedicating yourself to a project that you love and that you actually believe in is an incredible high. Because all it takes is that one person to message you or to tell you that you've inspired them. It's that one person that comes up to me and tells me that they love what I'm doing and that they believe in what I'm doing and that they think it's an important project. It's that kind of person that makes it all worth it. It makes me happy to know that people are connecting. And that's my goal. That's always been my goal, and that will continue to be my goal. But because there's this very real element of my mental and physical health, I have to take that into consideration as well. So as far as continuing on this adventure, I don't know if I can continue doing this safely. I've got a lot to think about, and I think we just need to see next week if I go anywhere. Is this how you do this? Wait, what is it? It's feeling my heart or my breathing? Doctor, better get a fucking sticker after this.